The heavy gates of the prison opened slowly. After 25 long years, Raymond Harris stepped outside. His hair had turned gray. His hands shook slightly. His eyes, once full of fire, were now tired, but still searching. He looked left, then right. He wasn't looking for reporters. He wasn't looking for friends. He was looking for her, his daughter. He carried only one thing in his pocket, an old photo. It was faded now. In it, a little girl smiled, holding a teddy bear. That was his daughter, Layla. She was just 6 years old when he was taken away. He whispered to himself, "Please be here." All around him, there were families waiting for other inmates. Some hugged, some cried, but no one came for Raymond. Just as he lowered his head in sadness, he saw her. A young woman stood across the road. She wore a long black coat. Her hair was tied back. She held something in her hand, maybe a phone. She didn't wave. She didn't smile. She just stared. Raymond blinked. Could it really be her? He stepped forward slowly. His voice cracked as he spoke. "Layla, is that you?" The woman didn't move. Raymond walked closer. "I know I look different, but I'm your father." Still, she stayed silent. Now, standing only a few feet away, he stopped. His heart pounded. He had imagined this moment for years. He thought she would run to him. He thought she would cry. But this was different. Tears filled his eyes. "I dreamed of this day," he said. "Every night in that cell, I pictured your face. I know I missed your birthdays. I missed your school plays. I missed everything. But I never stopped loving you." Finally, she spoke. "You don't remember what you did, do you?" Her voice was calm, but her eyes were cold. Raymond froze. "What do you mean?" "You think I'm here for a happy reunion?" she asked. "You left me, Dad. You left me with scars no one could see." "I went to prison," he said quietly. "I made mistakes, but I paid for them." She took a deep breath. "Did you ever wonder why I never visited you? Never wrote back? I didn't forget you. I just couldn't forgive you." Raymond's legs felt weak. He sat down on a bench nearby. His hands covered his face. "I didn't hurt your mother," he said. "They said I did, but I didn't." Layla stepped closer now. "Then why didn't you fight harder? Why did you stay quiet all these years?" "I was protecting someone," he whispered. "Someone I thought would do the right thing. But they never did." Layla looked shocked. "Who?" He looked up, his eyes red. "That's a story for another day, if you still want to hear it." There was silence between them. People walked past. Cars honked in the distance. But in that moment, the world felt frozen. Layla looked at the photo in his hand. "You kept that?" "Every single day," he said. "It gave me hope." She looked away. A tear rolled down her cheek, but she wiped it quickly. "I didn't come here to forgive you," she said. "I came to see if you were still the same man." "And?" he asked. "I don't know yet," she replied. "But I've been carrying a lot of pain. Maybe. I need answers." Raymond nodded slowly. "Then stay. Let me give them to you." Layla turned to leave. She paused. "Meet me tomorrow, at the cafe near 7th Street. Noon." And just like that, she walked away. Raymond watched her disappear into the crowd. He didn't know if she'd come back. But for the first time in 25 years, he had something he didn't have before. A second chance. The small cafe on 7th Street was quiet that afternoon. A gentle breeze moved the white curtains by the window. Raymond sat at a corner table, his hands tightly wrapped around a cup of black coffee. He had arrived early. He didn't want to risk missing her. Every time the door opened, his eyes looked up in hope. At exactly 12, the bell above the door rang again. It was her. Layla entered, dressed in a simple green shirt and jeans. She looked confident, but not angry. Just guarded. She sat across from him. "You look nervous," she said softly. "I haven't seen you in 25 years. Raymond replied. I don't know how to act. She nodded. Let's not waste time. You said you were protecting someone. I want to know who. Raymond looked down. His voice was low. Your uncle, Marcus. Layla's eyes widened. Uncle Marcus, Mom's brother. He nodded. He was in trouble. Owed money to some dangerous people. That night, when your mother was attacked, it wasn't me. Marcus was there. I came home after the damage was done. Layla's hands shook slightly. Are you saying you took the blame for him? Raymond nodded again. He begged me. He said he'd turn himself in later, but he never did. He disappeared. And I stayed silent. For family. Family. Layla said angrily. What about me? What about your daughter? I thought I was doing the right thing, Raymond said. But in prison, every day, I realized how wrong I was. I lost everything. You lost your father and your mother. Layla's voice trembled now. She never talked about that night, just cried in her room for hours. She told me you were gone forever. She never said why. I don't blame her, Raymond whispered. She was broken, and I wasn't strong enough to fix it. There was a pause. The waitress brought a pot of tea. Neither of them touched it. I became a social worker, you know, Layla finally said. Helped children whose parents were in jail. I thought I was doing it to heal others, but maybe I was trying to heal myself. Raymond smiled sadly. You grew up to be strong, just like your mother. She took a deep breath. If what you say is true, Uncle Marcus is still out there, and he's never paid for what he did. I tried to find him after I got out, Raymond said, but it's like he vanished. No records, no calls, nothing. Then we find him together, Layla said firmly. Raymond looked shocked. You want to help me? I need the truth, she said. And you deserve justice too. If you really didn't hurt Mom, then I want to clear your name. For the first time since their meeting, Raymond felt something warm rise inside him. Hope. They left the cafe together. As they walked side by side, Layla asked, Did you ever think this day would come? Not once, he said honestly, but I prayed for it. Later that evening, Layla sat in her apartment, going through old boxes of family photos. She found one picture from a birthday party. Her mother, Raymond, and a young Marcus were all smiling. But now, that smile felt fake. She picked up her phone and called a friend who worked in public records. I need you to search for someone named Marcus Freeman, she said. Born 1972, used to live in Detroit. It's urgent. Back in his tiny rented room, Raymond opened a worn notebook. Inside were notes he had taken over the years. Hints, clues, possible locations. He never stopped trying. He just never had help. Now, he wasn't alone. But what neither of them knew was this. Marcus Freeman hadn't vanished. He had changed his name, built a new life, and he was still hiding something far worse than what happened that night. And soon, he would find out they were looking for him. 3 days had passed since Layla and Raymond made the promise to find Marcus. Layla worked late nights, digging through records, checking names, addresses, and old photos. She barely slept, but something inside her refused to stop. It wasn't just about justice now, it was about truth and healing. Raymond waited by the window every evening, hoping for her call. He didn't know what she would find, or if he was ready for it. Then, on the 4th day, her voice came through the phone. Sharp, focused. I found him. Raymond sat up straight. You're sure? There's a man living in Chicago under the name Michael R. Ford. The birth date matches Marcus. He owns a small security company. No criminal record. Changed his name in 2003. Raymond took a deep breath. He ran from everything. Yes, Layla said. And he hid well. But we're not done yet. I want to go there. I want to look him in the eyes and ask him what he did. Raymond paused. I'll go with you. Chicago was cold when they arrived, Layla wore a heavy coat, but her hands were shaking. Not from the cold, but from nerves. What if Marcus denied everything? What if he was dangerous? They stood outside the office. A small sign read Ford Security Solutions. Inside, a man sat behind a desk, talking on the phone. He had a short beard now, but Raymond knew instantly it was Marcus. Raymond opened the door. The man looked up. His face froze. "Ray." Layla stepped forward. "Hello, Uncle Marcus." Marcus stood slowly. "What is this? What are you doing here?" "We know everything," Layla said. "About Mom. About that night. About how you left my father to take the blame." Marcus's eyes flicked to Raymond. "You told her." "I had to," Raymond said. "It's time you faced the truth." Marcus's face turned red. "You don't know what you're talking about." "I know enough," Layla said. "You were there. You hurt her. And then you ran. You let an innocent man go to jail." Marcus slammed his hand on the desk. "You think I had a choice? They were going to kill me. I was in deep, Layla. I never meant for her to get hurt." "So you let your own sister suffer?" Layla's voice cracked. "You let your brother-in-law sit in prison for 25 years. Marcus looked down. "I thought it was the only way. I didn't know what else to do. I was scared." Raymond stepped forward now. "We're not here for revenge. I just want the truth. I want my name cleared." Marcus sighed. "That was a long time ago. I've changed. I have a family now. Kids." "So did I," Raymond said softly. "And I lost everything." Layla pulled out a recorder. "I want you to confess. Right here. Right now. Tell the truth. If you don't, I will go public. I have your birth record, name change documents, and enough proof to shake your world." Marcus looked at her, then at Raymond. He sat down slowly. "Fine. I'll talk." For the next 10 minutes, Marcus told everything. How he owed money. How he broke into the house, drunk and desperate. How he argued with his sister. How she got hurt by accident. And how Raymond walked in and told him to run. When he finished, the room was quiet. Raymond looked out the window, tears in his eyes. 25 years, for a crime I didn't do. Layla stopped the recorder. "You'll help us now. You'll testify. Clear my father's name." Marcus nodded slowly. "I will." Outside, the cold wind blew harder, but something inside Layla felt warmer now. Justice was finally near. But what they didn't know was this. Marcus still had one more secret. A dark one. And it was about to come out, in front of the whole world. Raymond and Layla returned home after Marcus confessed. Their hearts were heavy, but there was hope. Finally, the truth was out. Raymond could clear his name. Layla could finally let go of the anger she had carried for years. The next morning, Layla uploaded the recording of Marcus's confession to a secure drive. Her plan was simple: give it to her lawyer and have it used in court to reopen her father's case. But something strange happened. That evening, as Layla prepared dinner, she got a message from an unknown number. "Check the news, Channel 8. She turned on the TV. A reporter stood outside Ford Security Solutions in Chicago. His voice was serious. In a shocking turn of events, the owner of a local security firm, Michael Ford, formerly known as Marcus King, has been arrested by the FBI for charges linked to organized crime dating back over 2 decades. Layla's eyes widened. According to federal sources, Marcus King was involved in illegal arms trafficking and multiple assaults. His real identity had been hidden for years, until a recent leaked recording surfaced, exposing his past. Raymond entered the room, holding his tea. "What's going on?" Layla pointed at the screen. "Dad, someone leaked the recording." Raymond froze. "We were supposed to give it to the lawyer." Layla grabbed her phone. Her heart pounded. "I didn't leak it." The reporter continued. But the biggest shock came when King confessed to a crime that sent an innocent man, his own brother-in-law, Raymond Ellis, to prison for 25 years. The confession, now viral online, has sparked public outrage. Layla dropped the remote. It's everywhere. Raymond sat down slowly. Maybe it's a blessing. Maybe now, people will believe me. But Layla looked worried. Dad, what if this makes things harder in court? What if they say we broke the rules? Before Raymond could reply, there was a knock on the door. It was the police, but not just any officer. Behind them stood a tall man in a dark coat, FBI. Mr. Ellis, he said calmly, we need to talk. Raymond's heart skipped a beat. About Marcus? Layla asked. Yes, the agent said. And about what he didn't tell you. They sat at the kitchen table. The agent opened a file. There's something Marcus didn't share in the recording, he said. Something we only learned after searching his home. Raymond leaned in. What? The agent slid over a photograph. Layla gasped. It was her mother. But not from 25 years ago. This was recent. Taken within the last 2 years. Raymond's hands shook. What is this? The agent spoke softly. We believe your wife never died. Marcus lied about that too. She may have survived that night. Layla covered her mouth. She's alive. She was seen near the border. Under a false name. Marcus may have helped her escape the country during his dealings with the cartel. We're tracking the lead now. Raymond leaned back in his chair. All this time. I mourned her. I thought she was gone. The agent stood. We'll keep you updated. But for now, your name is being cleared. A judge has signed an order to reopen your case. You'll be free. Raymond nodded, but his mind was far away. Layla looked at her father. She's alive. Mom's alive. Tears fell down Raymond's face. And I never stopped loving her. The next morning, news channels all over the country shared the story. Wrongfully imprisoned man finally free. Hero daughter uncovers shocking family secrets. But one headline stood out the most. Mother missing for 25 years. CUSPCTE to be hiding in South America. And now, the final chapter was about to begin. Because Layla had made a decision. She was going to find her mother. No matter what. Even if it meant putting everything on the line again. A week had passed since the news broke across the country. Raymond Ellis was now officially declared innocent. The court had apologized for the wrongful conviction, and Raymond's name was cleared after 25 long years. He was free, not just by law, but in his heart. For the first time in decades, he could breathe without the weight of shame on his shoulders. But something else was weighing heavily now. Her. The woman he had loved. The woman who had disappeared that terrible night. The woman who might still be alive. Layla sat across from her father at the kitchen table, laptop open, showing blurred surveillance images. She's in Ecuador, Dad. These photos were taken 3 months ago at a clinic near the Andes. Raymond stared at the screen. His hands trembled. Why? Why didn't she come back if she was alive all this time? He asked in a broken voice. Layla's eyes were soft. Maybe she was scared. Maybe Marcus threatened her. Or maybe she thought you were dead too. Raymond looked away, wiping a tear. After everything, I just want to see her. Even if she doesn't want to come back, I need to see her face. One last time. Layla reached across the table and took his hand. Then we'll go. 2 weeks later, Ecuador. The sun was hot. The streets were dusty. And the tiny town of Valley Nube was quiet. Raymond stepped out of the taxi slowly, his cane tapping the ground. His heart was beating faster than it ever had before. Layla was beside him, holding his arm. Are you sure you're ready? He nodded. I've waited 25 years for this. They walked into a small medical clinic with peeling paint and old chairs in the waiting room. A nurse behind the counter looked up. Layla handed her a printed photo. Have you seen her? The nurse nodded slowly. Yes. She comes every Saturday to help the sick kids. She's kind. keeps to herself, doesn't talk much about her past. Raymond swallowed hard. Is she here now? The nurse hesitated, then pointed toward a garden behind the clinic. She's out there, reading to the children. Raymond turned and began to walk toward the garden. Every step felt heavier. His legs were weak. His chest was tight. Layla followed silently behind. And then he saw her, sitting on a wooden bench, reading a picture book to a group of little kids. Her hair was silver now, her back slightly bent. But her eyes. Raymond knew those eyes. He stepped forward, unable to speak. She looked up, and for a second, the world stopped. The children faded away. The birds went silent. And it was just them. Her eyes widened. Her lips trembled. "Raymond," she whispered. His knees nearly gave out, but he nodded. Tears spilled down her cheeks as she stood. "Is it really you?" He took a shaky breath. "I thought you died. They told me you were gone." She reached for his face with shaking hands. "I wanted to come back, but I couldn't. Marcus, he told me you were killed in prison. He said if I went back, they'd hurt Layla." I believed him. Raymond pulled her into his arms. And for the first time in 25 years, they were home. Layla stood a few steps behind, her own face soaked in tears. She had imagined this moment 100 times. But nothing could compare to watching her parents reunited. Two souls broken by lies and time, now holding each other as if they'd never let go again. "I have a daughter," her mother whispered, turning to look at Layla. You're her." Layla smiled through tears. "Yes, Mom. I found you." They hugged tightly, all three of them, right there in the garden. The sun shined down, and the pain of 25 years began to fade. 1 month later, back in the U.S., a news reporter stood outside a family home in Chicago. After nearly 3 decades of injustice, heartbreak, and silence, Raymond Ellis, the man once wrongly imprisoned, is now living peacefully with his wife and daughter. Their story touched millions, and today they're finally together, as a family. Inside the house, Raymond sat with Layla and his wife. Laughter echoed through the walls. Photos were being hung. Meals were shared. Healing had begun. Raymond looked at Layla with pride. "You brought our family back together." Layla smiled and said, "You never gave up. That's what saved us all." And so, the story that began with tears ended in hope. A hope born from truth, from strength, and from the love of a daughter who refused to stop fighting.